Hola, hola. It's your girl Erica from America. Welcome to the Confidence Chronicles podcast. This podcast is all about helping you stand in who you are. Stop giving a fuck what people think about you. Start standing as your fully expressed self. As you are, as is, there is no filter needed. You are fucking awesome, and I am here to remind you. I'm a confidence coach, and I'm a bold stand for confidence, and I cannot wait to dig into today's episode with you. Hello, and welcome back to the podcast. I am grinning from ear to ear because I have a sexy ass counterpart today that has never been on the podcast before. It's your first podcast debut, husband.
Wow, I feel special.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Welcome, Mr. Hamish Cramer, to the podcast.
Yeah.
Hamish, take your shirt off. Okay, so you guys have all of the listeners have always been messaging me and asking me about when we're going to do a podcast together. Literally, my podcast has been up for more than a year, and we have not done one episode. Y'all, it's crazy. We are going to talk today about our life and our relationship and how we work together and parent together and all the things, business together. And it's really hectic, and that's why we haven't been able to do this. Can you believe it, people? We spend so much time together doing things, and we haven't been able to do a podcast. So this is our first. Welcome to the podcast, Mr. Cramer.
Wow, thank you for having me.
How do you tell the people who you are?
Tell the people. Well, I'm your husband.
Yeah.
I'm your baby daddy.
Yeah.
And we're partners in business.
Yes, we are.
Among other things.
And what do you do? What do you do in the business? What do you do in your own life?
Well, I'm a personal trainer. That's my trade. But of lately, I've been moving into men's coaching, shamanic work, meditation, which has been a real extension from my PT life. So yeah, I started a gym called Alter Ego, and that was a fitness-based gym, which has now evolved into a holistic fitness studio, which includes fitness and meditation and all things holistic.
Yeah.
So I've been on my own kind of journey of personal development and realizations and the like, and I'm charting into new territory as well. And thanks to you as well, Queen of Confidence.
Love you.
Has been a big influence over getting me up and out and being seen. So
yeah. And Angela.
And Angela Gullah, for sure. And definitely the universe has given me two big firecrackers. Because I'm quite happy to live in a cave and be by myself and chill there for forever, or stay up on the mountain, so to speak. But so that's kind of me.
So Mr. Cramer and I, how long ago did we meet? When was oh God, these are the testing questions, people. We both don't
2011.
know. It was 2011. So I had come to Australia. For those of you that know the story, if you don't know, now you know. I had come to Australia from America, and I was dating someone who wasn't good for me, and I moved to Melbourne. And ended up looking for a personal trainer because I needed someone who could do rehab work because I had broken my back. And Mr. Hamish Cramer ended up calling me.
Yep.
Do you remember that?
I do.
And in the sidelines, really, Hamish and Tanja, who you guys know, I talk about her a lot. She was my first coach. Hamish you were doing work with her. What brought you to start working on yourself? Because it's not common for men to be like, I'm going to go get a life coach. Now it is, but back then.
Yeah, well, I think I was doing the same thing. I'd had a string of relationships that didn't work as well. And it's actually a crazy story because I was involved in a bunch of relationships that failed. And it was really weird because one of my old ex-girlfriends came back to me and kind of said, listen, I know we haven't seen each other for like 10 years or something, but
wow.
She had actually started doing work on herself and wanted to come and apologize to me for the way she behaved in our relationship. And I was like, wow, that's a big change from this girl that I used to know. And so with that, she also said, listen, I've been doing a bunch of things like clairvoyancy and, a bunch of spiritual stuff. And she had said, listen, I have been working with this woman and I really, I had a message for you to do the same. And so that's when she gave me Tangeli's card.
Shout out to Angelique.
Who then became my first coach as well. So I think at that stage of my life, I was, I'd been through those different relationships, and I knew that I had to admit that the problem had to be me, because I felt like I was dating the same girl over and over again. That's a podcast I also did. If you want to check that out, Am I Dating the Same Girl? Because I felt like it was I don't know how you can say this, different pussy, same energy.
No, he didn't. Burr, 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 burr. So Hamish is referring to when I say same guy, different dick. Like I dated the same motherfucker, but a different dick. I love you for that.
This is the same.
Same bitch, different pussy.
That's right. That's what I was trying to say.
You're so nice. You don't want to say that. I'll say it for you. Same bitch, different pussy, motherfucker. Anyway.
You just keep saying it. Wow, that's great. So I was doing that thing, and then I think it was time for me to get serious. And also, I was reaching my 30s. I think I just turned 30 or was 31 or something, and I think I was really starting for me look towards the future of where my life was going to go. And I was like, at that stage for me, I was really keen on getting married and having kids, and that was something I always wanted. And I was like, well, I need to kind of like get my shit together, if that's what I wanted. And so I thought, look, the best place to start is to work on myself. And so I met Tanja, and that started this whole sequence of events, which I guess led us to come together.
And you were always, I remember Hamish telling me that he was always interested in all the different religions, because your parents put you in boys Catholic school.
I know.
Shout out to the Cramers. They're super Catholic still. And Hamish went to an all-boys Catholic school, and you were saying about the different religions and that you were interested in?
Yeah, so I think at a very young age, I was always fascinated with religions, which is quite strange for a young kid to be interested in, but I was very interested in that. And again, I think a lot of the relationships that I was in found that strange or weird, and so I would often kind of hide that part of me. But from a young age, I was always curious about, I guess because I grew up in such a Catholic upbringing, and religion was a big part of our lives. We went to church every Sunday, and we would pray every day, and whenever my parents had their anniversary, there would be a church service around it. So so religion was a big part of it. And my parents are from Sri Lanka, which was a very poor country, and for my parents, religion was the way they got through those difficult times, or living in such a poor country. So so religion for them was a big part of their lives, and they wanted it to be a big part of our lives, me and my brother. But I think along the way, as I got older, I felt like I was forced into it as opposed to something that I chose. And so as I got older, I started to question a lot of the things that we did in the church. I started to, was looking for deeper answers and deeper meaning, and I found a lot of those kind of questioning wasn't really looked well upon, and you didn't kind of question the Bible or God or Jesus or any of those things. And I think that kind of led me to start exploring to see what other people believed in, because I think I found it really hard to believe that you were going to die and God would be like, hey, you got the wrong religion, off you go to hell, like it just didn't make sense to me, and when I questioned that, I didn't really get much of a response from my parents or anybody in the community. And I'm like, but that doesn't make sense. If you're a Buddhist, or if you're Muslim, or if you're some other denomination, I mean, God's going to punish you because you got it wrong. Like, it just didn't make sense. Mm-hmm. So I started to research a lot of these different religions, and I guess I was looking for some truth, and what I was finding was all of these religions were kind of saying the same thing, which I found quite fascinating. It was just the story that was different, It was just the story about whether it was Muhammad at the front of it, or Jesus, or Buddha, or whatever. It was just a different variation, but they were all promoting being a good person, loving each other, being compassionate, forgiveness, sort of these kind of fundamental truths. And I guess I was then trying to, find my own truth out of that, to try and find what's the universal truth. If we pull back the story, what's really there. So I feel like since a very young child, I've been on that journey to try and find these truths, these fundamental truths. And yeah, that led me to be interested in ancient civilizations in Egypt, and then obviously that led me to the esoteric world, and so obviously Dan Brown's book about the Da Vinci Code was like mind blowing for me. Like that was like what, and to find that some of that was based on truth. And
you love like the conspiracy alien theory shit.
Yeah, it just fascinates me, and I think I think I've just seen a lot of the way the truth has been distorted or misinterpreted through history, and it just kind of fascinated me what we believe in. So yeah, I started my own exploration, I guess, into these things. On top of all of that, I guess I was also a huge Michael Jackson fan, which highly influenced my life. And I guess I have memories of being this ADHD child which could not sit down. And the only way my parents could stop me from running around was to put Michael Jackson's Thriller on the video. So it was a VHS back in those days. And this video would be like the film clip of Michael Jackson being a zombie and then a werewolf. And then it was like the making of Thriller. And so this was like an hour special, which I watched, I feel like at least 1,000 times. And that's no joke.
Seriously, yeah.
And I don't know, but I think that stuff really got me fascinated with the occult and the horror. And like, I think it was just the mysteries of these kind of crazy this world of werewolves and vampires and witches and horror. I don't know. I and to this day I love it. Like it excites me. So obviously we'll go to a bunch of escape rooms. So
assholes, you too.
So as wonderful as Erica is in so many areas, that's just one area where we clash.
Yes, I do not like horror anymore
because she's the opposite.
Well, because I watched The Exorcist too much. I scared myself to death. And now, I just recently, you guys, became not scared of the dark. What was it, 4 years ago?
Not scared of the dark? I don't know if you would say you're not scared of the dark.
Well, I was extremely scared, and now I'm not as scared of the dark. Let's put it that way. Anyway, over to you. Back to you.
So anyway, so this also led to the traumatization of my brother, because I literally spent most of my childhood scaring the shit out of him.
Shout out to Matt.
So that led to him to go to therapy and a bunch of other modalities.
Oh god.
So that was kind of my interest, or my kind of upbringing. And then fast forward to where we met. I guess I started to do more work. I think relationships was a big part for me, like a big learning ground for me, because I kind of was that rescuer guy and would love the damsel in distress. And that also comes back from my love of superheroes. So I was off there trying to save every chick. And once I kind of broke down those patterns, I really started to work on myself and start to see that, some of that is good characteristics to have, but sometimes that can be actually not good for the relationship. And so that's I started my journey, and I guess it all came full circle because I started to work on myself, understand my own patterns and my own behavior, and then I started to delve back into the world of magic and the occult and spirituality and work with Tanja. And again, those things that I thought were impossible, especially through Tanja, she really made me see that a lot of it was possible. And this just sparked my interest again, because I was like, I always knew that this stuff was true, and here I am, I found this person that was actually practicing this work and living it and embodying it. And I was like, wow. And she was really that first person that, when you see someone do something that you thought was impossible, you're like, oh wow, I want to do this. And so that's where it took off.
And I think too, there was something, and we shared this yesterday because we were filming yesterday, so we shared this already, but I think it'd be really great for the podcast listeners to hear about, you were a man that was working on himself after having a broken heart, many broken hearts, after soul searching, who am I and what am I here for and what's the point of life and all that jazz. So women, just so you know, we're not the only ones doing this. There are men out there feeling the exact same as us. And so I really give it up to Hamish because he's the one that introduced me to this. Like, I was not open to this shit. I didn't know anything about, soul searching or spirituality. I had street smarts. I was angry. I had all my past. And so when I did meet Hamish, there's a really good story, and I think we can't go into more about how we work together without sharing about the land of plenty and the creation and how. So on the sidelines, I was in a relationship that I moved to Australia for this guy that I met in Vegas, who ended up being verbally abusive and not nice at all, not nice, and actually was virtually cheating on me with online sex camera shit, and that was crazy. And then moving to Melbourne for another guy who was not verbally abusive, but what's the other word called? What is the word called when people are you're not almost condemning me, condemning me for my past and
kind of spotlighting you, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was gaslighting. Gaslighting. It was when you fix your past, then I'll take you to a family wedding. Mm-hmm. When you delete all your photos, because I used to model, bikini models, from Google, then I will tell my family about you. Kind of like you're not good enough.
Which
shit.
I thought was crazy, because that was the first thing I loved about you, because you showed me all these modeling photos. I'm like, damn!
Who's this sexy bitch? Hamish is still
I'm like, why would you not want to show all your friends this?
Yeah. And I'm sitting there trying to delete photos from Google at 2 a.m. from this relationship. So I was hurt, and I was just I'm in Australia by myself. I knew that I needed to obviously work on myself at some capacity because I was attracting this shit again. So that was what I was doing on the sidelines, then trying to get my body better, and connected me to Hamish. But Hamish, before me, what was going on with you? You broke up with Jess and then the Land of Plenty and all that jazz, because that's a cool story.
Well, obviously then I started working with Tanja intensely. I really threw myself into that work, and I was single, so I was like, you know what, I'm going to go and do all the things that I have held myself back from. And I could have easily blamed all the relationships that I was in, because they some of them made fun of what I was interested in. Yeah. So, for a guy especially, to talk about these topics is already kind of taboo. And then to also have your partner then put that down. So it was a big excavating for me to kind of be like, fuck you, fuck everybody, I'm just going to go and explore these parts of myself. And so I worked with Tanja very intensely. I threw myself right into her work. She introduced me to this process called the Land of Plenty, which I guess in other terms could be considered a shamanic journey, if you're familiar with that, or a visualization as its most basic understanding. And I guess it's basically where you kind of put into some sort of state or an altered state, and you kind of reach this place where everything that you want in your life has arrived. You kind of, Tony Robbins kind of, can you go to that place where everything you have is there, and can you feel it? And it was kind of like that. Yeah, so Tanja put me into this, and what she does is you go kind of into this meditative state, and she kind of tunes into you, and she's also writing down what she sees. So again, this was fascinating to me, because I couldn't understand how I could have this visualization or dream, not say anything about it, and then someone else validate exactly the same things. I mean, I was like, what the hell? Can she read my mind? This is crazy stuff. And so what happened was, you go through this process, you end up in this Land of Plenty, this place where everything your heart desires exists. You kind of walk around and you bring back the aspects of it, and you kind of write those down, or you bring those essence in. So I had to kind of draw a picture. I think I had to come back and draw this Land of Plenty, and I drew this world, and I drew this person, this relationship that I had, and what I was doing in life. And at the same time, Tanja is in her notebook, and she's writing down all the things that she's seeing. Then we come together and we kind of exchange notes. So the crazy thing about this was that through that process, I actually saw quite clearly a relationship, or I saw a person. And for me at that time, relationship was what was important to me, because I'd been through a bunch of them, and it was my focus. I was like, I really want to get this part of my life sorted, and I was looking for somebody. And so we did this process, and I saw this woman, and Tanja really described her like that. We have these notes. Tanja kind of, she's like this, she looks like this, she's vivacious, she's loud, she's bubbly, she's high energy, and kind of broke down what my life was going to be like in all these different sections, and was like, cool, that was great visualization, great process, and left it at that. So then I guess we kind of fast forward down the track after doing that process, and I'm in Sydney.
How many weeks do you think that was?
I don't actually know. I feel like it would have been months because it was it was still fairly fresh, so we were still talking about it, but some time had passed.
Yeah.
So I'm off in Sydney, and Sydney was a special place for me with my ex-girlfriend because her family was from Sydney, so we would often come to Sydney and, you know, be with her family and her extended family and had some great times there. So I was in Sydney for a capoeira, which is a Brazilian martial arts. I was there to compete. Anyway, I competed in Sydney, and then I, you know, had some time off for myself to be in Sydney. And I just remember being on Bondi Beach and being quite sad because I was reminiscing about all the good times we'd had. I was still kind of heartbroken at this stage and was thinking about and feeling about how, you know, lonely I kind of felt. I guess feeling sorry for myself. And I guess in that moment, I'd done a bit of work with Tanja, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to change the way I feel about this place. And so I'm sitting on Bondi Beach, and I did the kind of land of plenty. I was like, cool, what would I love, or where would I love to be? And I started to look around and focus on the things that I wanted to have in my life. And so I saw, you know, a family there, and there was the kids running around, and I just let my imagination kind of take over and allow myself to find a better feeling thought or a better feeling story.
And there was a lady who was speaking another language with black hair.
Yeah, well, in my visualization of being there, I saw this woman, and she was pregnant, and she was in a black dress, and she had black hair, and she was speaking another language, and we were laying in Bondi, and I kind of was like matching my visualization to the place that I was at. And it was really nice, and it really helped me change in that moment how I felt about being in Bondi and being in Sydney. I guess I was just entertaining myself. I was just, you know, killing time by allowing myself to somewhat daydream. You know what I mean? But I have to let you know, I was not attached to it. You know, I wasn't like, this is what's going to happen, and this is what it's going to look like.
That's a good point.
I was just allowing myself to dream and daydream and not attached to anything. And I could have had another daydream the next day, and it could have been totally different. So I was very just like allowing my imagination to kind of run wild and to just for the purpose of feeling better.
Yeah.
So the crazy thing then happened is I get back from Sydney, I go back to work, and I had an appointment booked with you.
Well, you had rang me too. We had spoke on the phone.
We spoke on the phone and had booked the appointment.
So crazy.
So I'd already booked the appointment for Erica before I'd left for Sydney.
And here's the other part of the story, the backstory that Hamish doesn't know is going on in the background. I was dating this guy, and I knew I wanted to be fit because I wanted to be good enough because I didn't feel like I was good enough. And I went to the 1,000 Steps with a girlfriend, which is a place in Melbourne, which is beautiful. And I was like, I need to find a gym. And literally the universe put me across the street from Hamish. So, which is fucking crazy. Yes. Because if I was anywhere else, I would have went to another gym. So I ring the gym that Hamish was working at the time. He didn't own a gym at this time. He was working at a gym. I called, and I told the guy, I broke my back, blah, blah, blah. He's like, yep, I'll get the PT manager to call you. PT manager is like the head of PTs. And he's the one that talks to you and then tells you who your PT will be. So I'm like this angry ass Puerto Rican from America with an attitude. I still wasn't this conscious being that you see here today.
I don't think anything's changed, really.
Shut
really?
up.
I don't know. Maybe, yeah.
Listen, I'm a lot nicer, all right?
Okay.
Shanique was kind of dying off. Anyway, so I'm like, there's no fucking parking. We're driving, y'all, and there's no goddamn parking. We are far as hell. Anyway, it's all good. So here we are, and I'm like, okay, I'm waiting for this phone call, and Hamish calls me. And I'm like, hi, are you the PT manager? With the biggest attitude in the world. And he's just like, no, I'm a personal trainer. I'm a rehab trainer. I got your number from blah, blah, blah. They told me to give you a call, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, well, they said the PT manager was going to call. Because I'm like, who the fuck is this guy trying to get a new client without going through the system? Because I'm all like rules and shit. It was hilarious. So Hamish is on the phone like, who is this grumpy ass lady who is really rude and not kind at all? Like, because I was a little bit attitudey.
Oh, a little bit?
Yeah.
Like, more than a little bit.
And he was really mean because he thought I was a fat old Spanish woman. Thank you. Podcast listeners, just so you know, I'm not old and I'm not a fat Spanish woman, which is fine if I was, but I'm not. And I was just like, what the fuck? So he's like, and you were busy, right? You had like...
I was ridiculously busy.
Hamish had like literally, if you know anything about personal training, he had 70 clients a week. So 70 hours a week, he was training people. So he was like one of the only trainers there that was making $100,000 a year. Because he's good. He's fucking good at what he does. Still to this day, I haven't met anybody as good as you, babe. So he was like, who is this bitch? I don't need another client. And I definitely don't need an attitude.
Yeah. I didn't.
But anyway, it was just funny. And then I walked in on the Tuesday. And it was Tuesday, March 8th. March 8th. May 8th? May 8th.
May.
Holy shit, babe. May 8th. And then, what did you think?
So yeah, that's pretty much where everything kind of shifted right there. And then I didn't think she was a spat finished woman at all. She was extremely hot, beautiful, in this black wavy dress of a thing with these 25-inch high heels. And yeah, she was. I was like, oh, and what happened was, as I saw her walk into the gym, I was like, oh my god, this is the same girl that I visualized in my daydream back in Bondi, and it was really freaky. And I'm like, wow. And she had black hair, and she was in this black dress, and she was speaking Spanish. She was speaking a different language, and I'm like, oh, that's trippy. And in the moment, I was really like, thank you, universe or God, because now I kind of know what I like, if that makes sense. I wasn't looking at Erica like, oh my God, she's the one, and now that's it. I was still in like, awesome. I'm fine tuning what I want, and I was working with like the law of attraction and manifestation and all of this, and all of that was all about really fine tuning the signal that you want so that you can bring to you what you want. So I met her and we hit it off, and
it's like a 2-hour consultation.
Yeah, usually my consultations are 15 minutes. This ended up being like 2 hours, and it was great. And then, all the guys in the gym were giving me a hard time because I spent like 2 hours chatting to her and signed her up. And the crazy thing was, I then put her into my phone as Erica in brackets wifey, because for me, I was like, oh, that would be my ideal wife. Do you know what I mean? Like, and it was kind of like this funny kind of joke. And so in the gym, everyone would know her as wifey because, oh, here's Hamish's wifey, blah blah blah, as a joke, right? So then it's really funny how it all kind of happens. Are you crying already?
Yeah. Yeah, because it's like, oh, it's nice to hear it. Like, yeah, this is
and still to this day, it's Erica wifey, and it's just funny how it ends up becoming my wife.
I'm gonna change my fucking number. For
I know, I haven't changed it. That's right, it's been the same number.
But how crazy is that the guy said that and that you did that? And Hamish, by the way, wasn't a creepy trainer like, she's gonna be my wife, and like, put me in his phone as wife, and was like full on. He was so gentle and so lovely. I was really the sleazy client, like. Sure. Yeah, and really at the time, actually, that's a lie. We were not into each other at that time. I remember saying to you that I couldn't see you. Yeah. I was dating Roy at the time, and I really had tunnel vision because I was trying to get that right. I was trying to be perfect. I was trying to be good enough for this guy. Remember, like I was in condemnation relationship. It was like, you're not good enough. And so when I met Hamish, I was like, I wasn't allowed to look if he was nice looking or not. I was just working with him. And I never talked. It was so funny. I never talked about my boyfriend to you.
No, you didn't.
Remember?
No.
But I think I said it once or twice, but I never like really talked about him, which was so weird. But I also didn't see Hamish like, oh my God, he's sexy. Oh my God, will he like me? Oh my God. When you start going to a gym and you think someone's hot, then you like start wearing lipstick and shit to the gym ladies. I didn't do that. I was looking like a hot mess. And then I remember Roy broke up with me. It was my birthday. And that relationship was so turbulent and so abusive and so terrible for my self-esteem and confidence that I kind of just was like, fuck it. And he broke up with me. And I remember going, because I worked across the street from Hamish's gym. So Hamish and I would be in the same food court trying to get lunch. And I would sometimes see him. And remember, you saw me. I think I was wearing something similar to the day that I actually met you. That black jacket, I remember.
No, but you were wearing those glasses, and I didn't even recognize you.
Yeah, I was wearing glasses because I was crying so much. My eyes were so puffy. And I saw Hamish in the food court. Remember?
Yeah. And
Hamish was like, oh, hey, are you okay? And I was like, yep, Roy broke up with me, but I'm okay. I'm okay. I'll be fine. I'm okay.
Yeah. And in my mind, I'm like, yeah! But on the outside, I was like, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. That's really sad.
Well, because it was funny, Tanja said to Hamish, because you saw her after we met.
So then once we'd met, and we were obviously training together, and we'd done the Land of Plenty.
You locked the door.
I told Tanja about you, and I was explaining who I'd met and how, now I have kind of a closer understanding of who it is that I want. And Tanja turned around straight away and was like, There's so much energy there. You know, like, she's like, Haim, it's her. She's the one. Like, she's it. And I'm like, Tangela said, no, it's nothing like that. She's got a boyfriend. And I honestly really felt like Erica was like out of my league. And I'm like, listen, she's just it's too much. And I'm very professional with my work. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to do that. I don't want to be, you know, especially at the gym, there was a lot of trainers that were hooking up with their clients. And it's really messy. And, you know, it's your workplace. And, you know, these people still have to come to the gym. And so I was very big on not doing anything like that. So I was also like, listen, nothing would be worse than me trying to make a move on her and it doesn't work and it'd be so awkward. And, you know, I don't want to do that. And she's like, listen, she's the one. And I'm like, no, this doesn't make any sense. But when we looked at the Land of Plenty, it literally matched you perfectly. It was so crazy because she pulled the Land of Plenty out and she's talking me through it. And I'm like, oh my God, that sounds like Erica. And she's like, listen, I really think that she is actually the one. So when you turned around and then said, oh, look, I've broken up with Roy, I was like, oh, this is getting kind of crazy now. Yeah, this is getting kind of weird.
Yeah, and Tanja was like what is it, like Cinderella's fairy godmother.
She was the fairy godmother.
She was like Hamish's fairy godmother because she would be having sessions with Hamish and she was so beautiful. Like, she still is, but she was like this ballerina body and they would have sessions together and I would walk by and be like, hi, and she'd be like, oh, hi, Erica. And like, she knew everything about me and I'm like, I don't know this woman, but how does she? And I never got in my head that maybe Hamish is talking about me to her because I didn't think Hamish liked me at all. I didn't think he liked me at all. And when that happened with the breakup, I was home. I rented at the movie store, y'all, young people. Do you know what a movie store is? It was like Netflix, but a store. I rented Eat, Pray, Love and Sex and the City, like all the episodes. I was eating ice cream at home, crying because I had literally moved to Australia for this fucking guy who was an a-hole in Sydney. Then I moved to Melbourne for another guy. Like, what a loser, right? Like, I was like, what a loser am I? I'm following men around. I'm not good enough. And now he dumped me on my birthday. It didn't work. And what the hell? Like, what am I going to do with myself? And so I just felt shame. I felt guilt. I felt lonely. I felt sorry for myself. All the same things that probably you felt when you broke up with Jess. Yeah. And I'm like, I got this idea in my head of like, I'm seeing Hamish twice a week. I'm like, I can't do this. I need to look after myself. I loved going to the gym. I loved being sexy and fit and beautiful for me. I liked it for me. It made me feel good. And so I was like, I need to see Hamish more. That was literally the thought that came into my head that night. I needed to see Hamish more. And then when I saw you in the food court, I was like, can we book another session? Yeah. Can we do another, like a night session on a Tuesday night or something it was? And you were like, yeah, sure. No worries. It'll be like an extra $3.
It wasn't $3. It was
$5.
I had this scaling system.
Really?
The more you did, cheaper it was.
I thought it was like, nah, no dollars. Oh yeah, you can see me for free. And then we started hanging out, and it was funny because I remember Hamish is not a morning person still to this day, like unless he has coffee. And so I would train with him at 6 a.m. and I'm like, good morning, Hamish, how was your weekend? Blah, 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 blah. And he would just kind of stare at me like, yeah, it's good. And I'm like, this guy needs fucking personality. Like, he's lovely. Come on. And so, remember, what did you say to me? BC or whatever?
BC, before coffee. Don't talk to me before coffee.
BC. And I'm like, okay. So then I'm like, why don't we get coffee? And then he's like, cool. And then our sessions turned into like...
Well, we moved our sessions till later.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Remember, it was like 7 or 7:30.
So we could do coffee.
Because the coffee shop opened at 8. So we would train at like 7 or 7:30. No, 7:30.
Yeah.
Finish by 8, and then by the time we would go down, and then we'd sit there because you had to be at work at 9.
Yeah.
So then we would sit for
half an hour or so.
Half an hour.
I would be late to work because, and then when we did do that, like we just chatted about everything. Like it was like an open cap of
and
talks.
I came alive.
Yeah. I was like, oh my God, this guy's really lovely. And then maybe I was like, oh, he's really nice.
I was like, good morning, Erica.
Let's do push-ups. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Maybe no more coffee for you. This workout's getting harder. I'm getting fitter and fitter by the coffee here, people. Yeah, it was really good. And then we became friends and we started chatting. And then I think that was May. June, July.
No, June, it was your birthday.
Oh, June, it was my birthday. And then, so we started training in May. For a whole month, we were kind of just like nothing. Like no interest either of us. Mm-hmm. I don't know about you, but it was no interest. And then June was my birthday. Hamish's birthday is in July. And I literally had no friends in Melbourne. Yeah. My nail technician, Teresa, at the time, was my friend, and Hamish, my personal trainer. So my service providers were my friends, which was a shame for me. I was like, what? I'm such a loser. And then it was your birthday, and Hamish invited me. That was the first kind of thing that you invited me to.
And I was very popular as well.
Yeah, you were pretty popular.
So I had lots of friends, and I'm from Melbourne,
He's
so
the cool token
I
brown
was
man.
pretty connected. And so we had our, I had my 31st birthday at...
31st?
Yeah, 31st, at Baroque.
Yep, which is a big-ass club
Which
in
is a
Melbourne.
big club. It's a popular club, or it was at the time. And, we had the whole crew down. Like, we had all the guys, and we had all the girls, and everybody came to that party.
Yeah, and he was like, you should come. And I'm like, all right. And I was so conservative. We have a photo of this.
Oh, my God.
I might put it in the show notes, actually. I was so conservative because I was dating this guy, this Lebanese guy, and I was trying to be Jasmine, a princess, because I wasn't good enough, and I needed to be this cardigan wearing, hair extensions long, no lipstick, fucking, I don't know, like perfect Jasmine girl that, wasn't who I really was. And so I went really conservative to your birthday. Remember?
Really conservative.
Yeah.
There was no boobs shown at all.
No, nothing. I had like arms. And Hamish had literally foundation from all the women that he was pashing and kissing and hugging. Like white foundation on his brown face. And I'm like, he looks really pale. I'm like, oh, that's not his. Okay, that's foundation. That's red lipstick on his cheek. Okay, cool. And I remember you introducing me, like, Hamish was drunk, by the way, which I love Hamish drunk. Hamish drunk is the best thing ever, because he gets naked, he takes his pants off and starts dancing, and he's just crazy. Like, you're the best drunk ever. Me drunk that's another story, but Hamish drunk is
That's
good.
a whole nother podcast.
There's a whole nother podcast. It's police podcast and Flashing Vaginas podcast. And so Hamish was introducing me to everyone. He was like, oh, hi, you're here, like really excited. I'm like, oh my God, he's drunk. And then all of your friends knew me.
Everyone knew, because all I was doing was talking about you. And so everyone was like, oh, Erica! Oh,
And I was like,
know.
oh, hi.
And I'm looking at them going, don't make it so fucking obvious. But
Yeah, I think that's when it started kicking in. It was good. And then a whole nother podcast, but I was going to Hillsong Church at the time, which I wasn't a church girl. But at the time, I love cults, y'all. And so I did go to a church, and it was hilarious because I said to Hamish, if you want to date me, you gotta, like, if you want to go dancing with me, let's go to church.
yeah, because I said to you, let's go out for dinner or something.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, you can come to church with me. And then he was like, okay, I'll go to church with you. And it was fucking hilarious because we went to church, and then I got into this sexy-ass slutty dress that made you zip up.
Hilarious.
And anyway, that was the night that Hamish had to tell me that he liked me because he was going to Brazil,
Yeah.
the place you don't want your new boyfriend to go.
Hey, I
4 weeks.
wasn't your new boyfriend at the time.
I know, but when I found out, I was like, damn. So Hamish is going to Brazil for 4 weeks.
Yeah, so I was going to go to Brazil to do capoeira, which I was really loved and passionate about. And again, working with Tanger, and Tanger actually really put the pressure on me, because she was like, listen, Erica is actually the one. There's a lot of energy there, and you need to tell her tonight how you feel. And this was really
Cinderella.
difficult for me. This is really, and she kind of said to me, I feel like if you don't do this tonight, because you are going to Brazil, you might not get another opportunity. So I was just really stressed. So you can imagine, like, we're really close, we're really good friends. She's a client, so all of this kind of came rushing back. But, from the work I was doing with Tanger, this was my test. I had to start to, become more direct, and I needed to be clear about how I felt, and so be true with my emotions. And so that's what I was working with Tanger. And so we decided to go to church. She changes into a stripper dress. I'm like, okay. We go out to a bar, to a club. We have a few drinks. We're having a good time. And this was kind of like my going away for Brazil.
Yeah. And we each brought a friend because we
each brought a friend because we thought it'd be awkward. Like, I forced a friend of mine, and you brought a friend of yours.
Yeah.
And then we went out, and then, we were dancing, and you were getting flirty.
No, do you remember what happened? You were like, I need to talk to you outside.
Yeah, no, but you were getting flirty first.
Was I?
Yeah. Oh, was I?
Was I
That's
getting
like,
flirty?
really?
I was dancing with
me?
you.
Yeah, we were dancing
grab your
flirty
dick,
with
just
me.
kidding.
You probably did a couple of times. I'm like, okay, I've had enough of this. So I'm like, let's go outside. So I pulled you outside, and I said, listen, I can't be your friend anymore. And
That's
you're like,
what he said. That's what he said, you guys. I can't be your friend anymore. And I was like, what? Like, my heart sank down to the ground because I didn't know. Like, I thought that was it.
Yeah, and then I said, because I like you. I can't be your friend. I want to be more than a friend. And then
Because I like you.
Because I like you.
Said,
Yeah.
I like you too.
And you're like, I like you too. And then you gave me this like seductive kiss on the lips, and then pulled me back inside. I'm like, okay, this shit is like Donkey Kong.
Hey, that was the best.
And yeah, that's kind of how we hooked up.
Yeah.
And then we just had this 3-day love bliss.
Love bliss. I actually
It's
don't
like
know
a
what
bubble.
time of day
I don't know,
it
we
was.
didn't eat food.
Did we sleep? I don't know.
I don't remember sleeping. I remember seeing Batman the movie. But...
We went to the movies. We shared everything, and that was the first time I felt like Hamish was a bit spiritual, shamanic, something. Because I was thinking about the guilt. I had just got out of a relationship. Oh my God, what is Roy gonna think? What are the people that know me and know Roy gonna think? Because it was all about what do people think, that relationship. And I remember looking like I was stressed out on the couch, and Hamish was laying down, and he stood up, and he was like, "Are you okay? What's on your mind?" And I was like, whoa, dude, how did you know that? Like, it was so weird. I just felt like you felt me.
I did.
And we just shared everything. In those 3 days, it was like we were together for 3 years in 3 days,
Yeah,
I feel like,
it
right?
was.
And then he went to Brazil.
And we had every conversation as well.
We had every conversation.
Because we was pretty upfront. I was like, listen, you know what, I'm looking for some, like, I'm not sure what this is, but I'm looking to go down this path. I'm this age, and I'm looking for long term. And when I get involved in relationships, I love to give everything. So this is what I'm after. You know, we were really clear.
Yeah.
And then you were like, "That's how I am, and that's what I'm looking for."
That's what I want.
So it was good. I think before anything got too further along the line, I think we were really clear about, okay, well, this is what I'm after.
Yeah.
Like, if this is a one night thing, that's cool. If it's not, then.
Yeah, no, we're the same.
You know, so we were on the same path straight away.
Yeah, it was so good. And obviously, there's more to this. There's going to be a part 2, part 12, part 17.
Yeah, there is.
But it's just really, when we hear this story now, when we talk about it, it's like we were both attracting something. We were both magnetizing something. We were manifesting something, and just, you never know how it's going to come. And literally, I mean, there's more to come about how we do business and how we work together. But that story of how we met was incredible, because I didn't know what was going on in the background, and neither did he. And we didn't know that our life was preparing us for us to meet. And literally, I mean, we've been married now 6 years, and it feels like I've been with you since I was like 10 lifetimes ago.
Oh my gosh.
Like, for sure, we've been married another lifetimes. And it's the most incredible thing. And we do everything. We talk about everything. We fart. We fucking shit in front of each other. We do whatever.
Fart.
I do.
Okay, I
and
fart.
you fart too. Come on now. As in, we don't have any embarrassing anything. Like, literally everything we fucking talk about. It's uncapped. There's no secrets. We talk about masturbation. We talk about fucking sex. We talk about, like, every single thing you can imagine. It is the most in-depth, real, loving, deep relationship that you could imagine. It's a fucking fairy tale. Our communication is on point. We're going to be obviously doing some couples work, you guys, just PS. We're going to do a webinar for couples, and we're going to do a full day couples workshop, because this is legit love. Like, we're fucking on it.
Yeah. And also, it wasn't like we got together and then it was all unicorns and rainbows either.
More. Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like, then the work started. You
Yeah.
know, I had to keep working on myself. You kept working on yourself, and then we had to create this relationship that we wanted. So it wasn't like, it was all good and we're in love and everything fell into place. It was work then.
It was a lot. It was a lot to do.
Maybe that's part 2.
That's part 2. We're going to share with you all the things and how we actually came together and how we actually created and did this shit, because it's not easy, you know? It's actually a lot of work, and we were so committed to the work, and we were so committed to making this shit happen. Yeah, and it was incredible. And so I hope that you've enjoyed today's special guest, Mr. Hamish Cramer. We are going to do some more because we need to, and it's awesome. And I want you guys to know about how this relationship works and how we actually have created a business and a life and a, parenting, how we want to do it, and how we support each other, and how you can have this, you can have love, you can have the love of your life and the love of your dreams and the life of your dreams if you're willing to fucking work it. And believe me, we still work it. With Byron, Katie, everything. Me and Hamish, all we talk about is the work. So yeah, I love you. Thank you for being on the podcast.
Thank you so much.
And if you want to hear more about Hamish, and he referred to a lot of the things growing up with Catholic parents and all that jazz, he has a podcast called Manfulness. Manful, Fulness. He's also on Instagram at
Manfulness Men.
Manfulness Men. So Manfulness with the men. And he's just awesome. He's the most beautiful soul, and I really hope that you follow him, you enjoy him. Send your man friends or anybody that identifies as a man over to Hamish's way. He's doing shamanic sessions and men's work. Virtual and in person, while he can do in person. Get in while you can. Mofo's getting busy. So proud of you, husband. I love you. Thank you for doing this work. And thank you for joining me.
Thanks, babe.
If you are enjoying this podcast, I want to let you know about the Sisterhood. It is my year-long coaching experience. I ain't even going to call it a program because it's literally a life-changing, life-altering experience where I coach you. We go deep. It's in real time. It's off the charts. It's 12 months. We touch on 6 major topics. I can't even tell you. There's over 200 women in 11 plus countries doing this work. You got like-minded women that are going to hold you accountable. It is going to change the way you think. It is going to change the way you act. It is going to change the results that you get in your fucking life. I am so excited to bring this to you. If you are down and you want to make shit happen, head over to thequeenofconfidence.com. Click on Sisterhood. Check it out. If you're in Melbourne, we do this shit in real time, in person, 6 live events a year. If you are anywhere else in the world, it is open now and you can join us online. Again, it is not a program. This shit right here, we take the podcast, we go deep. It is guided. I'm up in there coaching your ass, giving you 11 bitch slaps, and you are in great company. Thank you so much for listening. I so appreciate your ears, your time, your energy, and your attention. Please do me a favor and head over to Apple iTunes, subscribe so that you don't miss an episode, share this episode with a sister who you know needs to hear it, and if you feel called to, leave me a review. I'd love to know what you think about the podcast. I'd love to know how this information is helping you change your world. Thank you so much for being here. I know that there are many podcasts you could listen to, and I really appreciate you listening to mine. Have a gorgeous week, honey.